Shabbat Shalom. This week in Parshat Vayeitzei we read my favorite line of Torah. Achen yesh Adonai bamakom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati. Surely God is in this place, and I did not know it. This is what Jacob says after he wakes up from his dream of a ladder to heaven with angels going up and down. Jacob just ran away from his father's house. He's on the way to his uncle Laban after tricking his brother Esau out of his father Isaac's blessing. This dream reminds Jacob that he is not alone and that God is with him. He continues on his journey to Laban and meets his cousins Rachel and Leah. He immediately falls in love with Rachel and asks Laban if he can marry her. Laban says, "Work for me for 7 years and you can marry her." After 7 years, Laban tricks Jacob and gives him Leah instead. Jacob has to work another 7 years for Rachel. I guess after all that trickery Jacob was involved in last week, it only makes sense that he should be tricked back. Once he has his wives, they start having sons. Between the 2 sisters and their handmaids, Jacob ends up with 11 sons and 1 daughter. 1 more son will come later as our story continues. At the end of the parsha, Jacob takes his wives, children, livestock, and servants and leaves Laban's house to return to his father. We'll pick back up with that story on our journey next week. Achen yesh Adonai bamakom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati. Surely God is in this place, and I did not know it. This is my favorite line because it reminds me that I am not alone, that there is holiness all around. I just have to pay attention. This is the perfect sentiment to read the week of Thanksgiving. Similar to holiness, there are always things to be grateful for if we take the time to notice. The light coming through the window, the food we have to eat, even each breath we take. God is in this place, and we have the chance to know it. In the next verse, Jacob exclaims, "Ma nora hamakom hazeh." How awesome is this place? Look around the place where you are right now. What is something that makes it awesome? What had to happen to make the place you are in possible? Think of the work it took to build the walls, the roof, the floor. Think of what it took to make that space yours. Ma nora hamakom hazeh. How awesome is this place? How are you noticing God in this awesome place? How could you think of God in your space? When Jacob needed to be comforted and protected, God came to Jacob in a dream. What do you need God to be for you in this moment? Achen yesh Adonai bamakom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati. Surely God is in this place, and I did not know it. May we be able to open our eyes to the goodness, to the holiness, to the godliness around us. May it bring us what we need. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will.